me ask you something. Have you ever thought that once you finally got that dream job, that bigger house, or that perfect body, you would finally feel truly happy? Many of us carry this idea that happiness is waiting somewhere in the future, hidden behind success or recognition. But here's the surprising truth. People who reach those goals often discover the joy doesn't last. The excitement fades, and soon they are chasing the next big thing, still wondering why they feel empty inside. So what if we have been searching in the wrong place? What if real fulfillment is not out there, but already inside us? In this episode, you will not only practice your English listening, you'll also explore one of life's most important questions: where lasting happiness truly comes from. By the end, you'll see that learning English can also mean learning life. And if this is your first time here, tell me in the comments what you are doing while listening and where you are joining from. I love reading every comment. Now, let's dive in. Why doesn't wealth bring lasting happiness? Money is important. It buys comfort, security, and freedom. Without enough, life feels stressful and uncertain. But once our basic needs are met, money's power over happiness becomes weaker than most people expect. Think about it. Buying a new phone or car is exciting at first, but soon the excitement fades, and we start wanting the next new thing. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. It means that we adapt quickly to improvements, and once adapted, we need even more to feel the same level of happiness. Of course, this doesn't mean money is bad or unimportant. It simply means it cannot guarantee peace of mind. If your sense of self-worth depends only on your income, you will always feel insecure, because there will always be someone richer, someone who seems to have more. Real happiness does not come from constantly adding more to your life. It comes from how you feel inside, how you relate to yourself when the world is quiet. Wealth can make life easier, but only inner stability can make life truly joyful. Why do goals lose their magic after we achieve them? Goals are powerful motivators. They give us energy, focus, and a reason to wake up in the morning. Reaching a goal can feel amazing. For a moment, there is pride, satisfaction, and even excitement. But something surprising happens soon after. The thrill fades and our mind begins to ask, what's next? This cycle is natural. Our brains are wired to keep moving forward, always seeking new challenges. Imagine climbing a mountain. The view at the top is breathtaking, but it lasts only a moment before you look toward the next mountain in the distance. This is not a bad thing. Growth is part of being human, but it shows that permanent happiness does not live in the achievement itself. Lasting fulfillment comes from the process, the discipline, the small steps, and the lessons learned along the way. If you expect the finish line to finally give you unshakable joy, you will be disappointed. But if you learn to enjoy the training, the practice, and the journey, you discover that happiness was with you all along. Why can fame feel empty? Many people dream of being famous. They imagine adoring fans, recognition, and admiration. Fame looks like the perfect path to happiness. But in reality, it often brings challenges that most people do not see. Famous people lose privacy. Every choice they make is judged in public. Even small mistakes are magnified, and criticism comes from millions of strangers. This creates stress, anxiety, and pressure to always perform. Even more surprising, fame can make people feel lonely. Attention from fans may feel exciting, but it is often shallow. It is based on performance, looks, or popularity, not on true connection. When admiration depends on an image, it does not feel safe or lasting. This teaches us an important lesson. External approval cannot replace inner peace. Recognition may give a rush of joy, but it cannot heal feelings of insecurity inside. The truth is, happiness does not come from how many people know your name. It comes from how deeply you respect and accept yourself, even when nobody is watching. Fame without self-acceptance is an empty crown. Where does real self-worth come from? Real self-worth is not measured by wealth, achievements, or popularity. It comes from the way you treat yourself in your own thoughts. Many people are kind to others but cruel to themselves. They say harsh things like, "I'm not good enough," or "I will only be happy when I succeed." But true self-worth begins when you decide that your value is not up for debate. Self-worth grows when you choose to believe you are valuable now, not in the future, not after reaching a goal, but today. This doesn't mean you stop improving or ignore growth. It means you understand that your core value as a human does not depend on what you achieve. When you accept yourself as you are, you stop needing constant validation from the outside. You can still set goals, but you are no longer a prisoner of them. You grow from love, not from fear. And that difference changes everything because it gives you freedom and calm strength that external approval can never give. How does self-acceptance change our happiness? Self-acceptance means looking at yourself honestly and still choosing kindness. Instead of rejecting your flaws, you recognize them as part of being human. Imagine looking in a mirror and saying, "I am enough, even while I continue to grow." This simple shift brings relief and peace. When you practice self-acceptance, anxiety decreases. You no longer waste energy pretending to be perfect. You feel safer to try, even if you make mistakes, because failure no longer destroys your self-image. Mistakes become lessons, not proof that you are unworthy. This makes you more resilient, more open to life, and even more compassionate with others. Self-acceptance also makes relationships stronger. People feel comfortable around someone who is comfortable with themselves. Instead of chasing approval, you connect authentically. Importantly, self-acceptance does not mean giving up or staying the same. It means improving without the heavy weight of shame. It is about saying, "I love myself enough to grow," instead of, "I must grow," or "I am nothing." That mindset creates a lasting foundation for real happiness. Why is self-love different from selfishness? Many people confuse self-love with selfishness, but they are very different. Self-love means treating yourself with respect, care, and patience. It means giving yourself the same kindness you would give to a close friend. It is about making healthy choices for your body, mind, and spirit. Selfishness, on the other hand, ignores the needs of others. It focuses only on personal gain, often at the expense of relationships. Self-love is the opposite, because when you are strong inside, you have more energy to give to others. Think of it like filling your own cup. If your cup is empty, you cannot pour water for anyone else. But if your cup is full, you can share freely without resentment. This is why self-love is not only healthy, but necessary. It prevents burnout, supports resilience, and helps you create deeper connections. When you love yourself, you stop needing approval and begin acting from abundance. From this secure base, you can be generous, open, and truly helpful to others. Self-love builds inner strength that selfishness could never create. How can the present moment be enough? Many people live trapped in the past or lost in the future. They say things like, "I'll be happy when I get that job, that house, or that relationship." But the truth is, life is happening right now. If you cannot feel peace in this moment, you will not magically feel it in the future, because the future always turns into today. Mindfulness is the practice of slowing down and noticing what is around you. The taste of food, the sound of laughter, the warmth of sunlight. These are small experiences, but they are real. They are life itself. By paying attention to the present moment, you discover that joy is not hiding somewhere else. It is already here, waiting for you to notice. Living in the present does not mean you stop planning or dreaming. It means you stop postponing happiness until later. Instead of waiting for the perfect conditions, you begin to see that every day contains reasons to smile. The present moment is not a step toward life. It is life. Why do we always want more? Human beings are wired for growth. We want to improve, achieve, and explore. This drive has built civilizations, technology, and art. But there is a hidden cost when desire turns into endless craving. When you believe happiness depends only on the next thing, you never feel satisfied. You reach one goal and immediately a new one appears, leaving you restless. This cycle is exhausting. It can make you blind to what you already have. Gratitude is the key that breaks this pattern. Gratitude does not mean you stop dreaming or growing. It simply balances ambition with appreciation. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from what is missing to what is present. When you pause and ask yourself, "What in my life is already good?" you realize there are many blessings you once wished for. This awareness brings peace. You can still grow, but now you grow from a place of fullness instead of emptiness. You no longer chase happiness like a shadow. You carry it with you. How does growth itself bring joy? Growth is not only about reaching the final goal, it is about the person you become while moving toward it. Think of learning English. If you wait to be happy only on the day you speak perfectly, you will suffer frustration for years. But if you enjoy the process, learning new words, understanding more each day, you can feel proud and happy even now. Growth connects us to purpose. It shows us we are alive, capable, and moving forward. Each small improvement becomes proof of our potential. This brings energy and confidence because progress creates momentum. The joy of growth is in seeing yourself evolve. It's noticing that yesterday's challenges are easier today. It's realizing that your future self will be stronger because of the effort you put in now. When you see growth as a gift, every step counts. Happiness comes not from waiting at the finish line, but from walking the path and recognizing how far you have already come. Why comparison steals your joy? Comparison is one of the biggest traps on the path to happiness. When we constantly measure ourselves against others, how they look, what they own, or what they achieve, we forget our own progress. The problem is, there will always be someone ahead in some way. And when we keep comparing, we create a moving target. Happiness slips further away each time. The truth is, comparison blinds us to our own journey. You may have grown so much already, but if you're always focused on someone else, you won't even notice. The antidote is awareness. Whenever you catch yourself comparing, pause and remind yourself that life is not a race, and your worth is not measured against others. Instead, focus on your own growth, step by step. By letting go of comparison, you create space to appreciate what is real, what is present, and what belongs to you. That's where authentic joy begins to grow. Why external approval cannot bring peace. It feels good when others approve of us. A compliment, recognition, or praise can lift our mood instantly. But when we depend too much on external approval, our happiness becomes fragile. If people criticize us, or if recognition fades, we suddenly feel lost and insecure. The danger is in letting other people hold the key to our peace of mind. True fulfillment cannot be built on something so unstable. Lasting happiness comes when you learn to validate yourself, even without applause. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback or never care about what others think. It simply means you don't make their opinion the foundation of your worth. The moment you realize you are enough as you are, whether others notice or not, you gain a deep freedom. Approval then becomes pleasant but not necessary. Without it, you still stand strong. And with this inner strength, peace is no longer something people can give or take away. Why chasing perfection keeps you stuck? Many people believe they will only be happy once everything is perfect. The perfect body, perfect home, perfect relationship, perfect career. But perfection is an illusion. No matter how hard we try, life will always be a mix of strengths and flaws, wins and losses. When we chase perfection, we set ourselves up for disappointment because the target keeps moving. Even if you reach it in one area, you will find something else to fix. The pursuit never ends. Instead, happiness grows when we embrace progress, not perfection. Small improvements, daily growth, and acceptance of imperfections bring more peace than endless chasing. The funny thing is, when we let go of the need to be perfect, we actually become more authentic, and life feels lighter. Mistakes become lessons, flaws become part of our uniqueness, and the pressure to be flawless finally lifts. Happiness doesn't need perfection. It needs acceptance and balance. Why presence matters more than possessions. It is easy to believe that more possessions will finally make us happy. A new car, the latest phone, a bigger house. And while these things can bring temporary comfort, they do not guarantee lasting joy. Often people get what they want and soon feel restless again, searching for the next purchase. This happens because material things can only touch the surface of happiness, not the core. True joy is found in presence, in actually living and noticing the moment you are in right now. Presence means tasting your food instead of rushing, listening fully when someone speaks, and noticing the small details of life. These moments create memories and feelings that possessions cannot replace. The more present we are, the richer life feels, even without luxury. Possessions may fade, but presence turns ordinary days into treasures. And this shift is what allows us to feel satisfied without constantly chasing more. Why gratitude changes everything. Gratitude might sound simple, but it has a powerful effect on our happiness. When we take time to notice what we already have, rather than focusing only on what is missing, our brain starts to shift. Instead of living in a constant state of not enough, we begin to feel grounded and secure in the present. Think about it. When you wake up and say, "I'm thankful for this day, my health, or even the smallest comfort," You create a feeling of peace that no amount of money or fame can buy. Gratitude trains the mind to see joy in the ordinary. And the truth is, happiness is often found in ordinary moments, not just in big achievements. By practicing gratitude, we stop waiting for happiness to arrive someday, and we realize it is already here, waiting inside us. This shift helps us accept life as it is, while still working to grow and improve. Gratitude doesn't stop progress. It simply makes sure our happiness doesn't depend only on reaching the next goal. Why self-acceptance is key to inner peace. Self-acceptance means making peace with who you are right now, without constantly wishing you were someone else. Many people believe that they can only love themselves once they become thinner, richer, or more successful. But that way of thinking places happiness in the future, always out of reach. True peace comes when we can look in the mirror and say, "I am worthy exactly as I am today." Of course, we can still improve, learn, and grow. But when self-love is based only on achievement, it disappears the moment we fail or fall behind. Self-acceptance gives us a steady foundation. It is the voice that says, "Even when I make mistakes, I am still enough." This mindset allows us to enjoy life as it unfolds, instead of constantly fighting against ourselves. Without self-acceptance, even success feels empty. With it, even small steps forward feel meaningful because we already feel whole and valuable. Why the journey matters more than the destination. We often think that happiness will finally arrive when we reach the top of the mountain, the perfect job, the dream house, or the flawless relationship. But when people finally get there, the joy is often short-lived. Why? Because the mind quickly starts searching for the next mountain. The real truth is that most of life is lived on the path, not just at the top. The daily process of growing, learning, and overcoming challenges is where we find meaning. When we see the journey itself as valuable, every step becomes a chance to feel fulfilled, not just the final result. This does not mean we give up on goals. It means we learn to enjoy the ride as much as the arrival. A person who only chases destinations misses years of life in between. But someone who embraces the journey feels alive every day, even before reaching the top. Happiness, then, is not a trophy at the end. It is a way of walking through life with presence and appreciation. How to stop chasing and start living. To move from chasing external goals to living with inner peace, we need a shift in focus. Instead of asking, "What will I gain when I achieve this?" we can ask, "How can I grow while moving toward it?" This small change transforms our daily actions. We no longer rush through life, desperate for results, but instead we notice the lessons, connections, and moments along the way. Stopping the chase does not mean we lose ambition. It means we stop believing that happiness is locked behind future achievements. We begin to see that we can work hard, improve ourselves, and aim high, while still feeling joy in the present moment. This way, success becomes a bonus, not a requirement for happiness. The more we practice this, the freer we feel. Life becomes less about pressure and more about purpose. And from that mindset, even ordinary days hold meaning, because we are not waiting for happiness. We are already living it. How can we find the courage to grow without fear? Growth often brings fear because stepping outside comfort means facing the unknown. Many people stay stuck chasing external markers of success because it feels safer. The world tells us exactly what to want: more money, a better body, higher status. But choosing to look inward requires courage. It takes bravery to sit with yourself and accept both your strengths and your flaws. It takes strength to say, I will grow, not because I'm unworthy now, but because I value myself enough to keep evolving. This type of growth leads to lasting fulfillment because it is not based on what others think, but on your own inner compass. Each time you grow in this way, you realize that happiness is not fragile. It is not destroyed when life changes, because it lives inside you. Courage helps us keep walking the journey, not as a race, but as a path of becoming more authentic and more alive every day. What is the true source of lasting happiness? As we come to the end, remember this. Lasting happiness does not come from fame, wealth, or appearance. Those things can bring moments of pleasure, but they fade quickly. True fulfillment comes from within, through gratitude, self-acceptance, and a willingness to grow. It comes from living in the present moment instead of waiting for a perfect future. The journey itself, with all its ups and downs, is where life actually happens. By choosing to love yourself as you are, by practicing gratitude for what you have, and by embracing growth as a lifelong process, you create a happiness that cannot be taken away by success or failure. This is the kind of joy that makes life rich and meaningful. The message is simple yet powerful. Happiness is not something you chase. It is something you create inside yourself every single day. And the beautiful truth is, you already carry everything you need for it right now.